Have you ever watched a movie where you was like, it's a really good movie. It's just a good movie and you don't have anything bad to really say about it? Like, it's good, it does a job, good to go. That's about it. Well, that's how I feel about the movie The Hunger Games from 2012. The first movie, by the way. I feel like it's just a solid movie, really good. And on this episode of Movie Breakdowns, because no series I'm starting, I'm going to review it. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. What's Movie Breakdowns? Movie review series looking at new and old movies. Give them a grade, 8 through up, plus and minuses do count. And if the movie wants you to review, let me know. Please put in the comment section below and I'll get to it as best I can. I also have a Patreon, Patreon/Ali Zakka. For $2 a month, you get to jump in front of everybody, get your review out way before it comes out on Facebook and YouTube. You also get cherry reaction, cherry reviews, much more content on the Patreon. Now, let's go and get into today's episode, 2012, The Hunger Games. And my first thought of this movie, before I get to what it's about, I just want to give you guys a little backstory on it. But this movie came out in 2012. I think I saw it 3 times in theaters, maybe twice. I know for a fact I saw it twice. And I remember this movie being really good. Like, it's a really good movie. And I've seen it probably 10 times at this point. 10 to 11 times at this point. Like, I know I've seen this movie a handful of times. And this latest review of it, this latest watch of it, I was like, I see this movie so many times, I was just kind of like, it's good. I know exactly what's going to happen. I know how it plays out. It's good though. And this is a good movie. So what is the movie about? This movie is about 12 districts that in this world where the number 1 district, too, like the lower your district number is, the more wealth and rich your district is, and the higher number, like 12 for example, is poor. Like, you're living in huts and wooden places out in cabins, stuff like that. You gotta wash clothes and, you know, the old buckets and stuff like that. It's really just a rundown environment. But the rich district, like District 1 for example, is luxury and wealth everywhere. Everybody has most famous clothes, popular clothes, stuff like that. But to keep the districts from overriding each other or trying to fight each other and break out, they put 24 kids, 2 kids from each district, in a battlefield called the Hunger Games. And the winning district, whoever wins at the end, who's the last person standing, is the one who brings like popularity and notoriety to your district, and honor and support to your district. And I believe this is the 74th Hunger Games in this movie. I've seen it so many times. I'm pretty sure 74th, because 75th is whenever it comes back in the second one. Spoiler for a movie that's been out for years. But the 74th Hunger Games is what is like another, just people remembering every year. They remember the wars like that, and the Hunger Games, the way for people to remember that those who overcome everything stand on top. And also a reminder of the tragedy that happened years before the book and the movie happens. But this is pretty much what it is. You have 24 kids who get put into a battlefield, and the last person standing is the winner of the Hunger Games. And this movie has a lot more social undertones into it, a lot more about poverty and overcoming your social status and taking it to, you know, the man kind of talking points. But this first one, before you get into all that, is just laying the seeds of it. And this first movie is really good to the point where this could have been the only movie they done, and a lot of people would have been like, good, we're solid, we're happy, we don't need anything else. And the first book is written that way too, where it literally is just the basic groundwork, and it's such a good story from beginning to end that you're just like, we're good, we don't need another one. It'd be nice to get a sequel, but we really don't need another sequel. Like, we are solid on this one. And that is pretty much like my first thoughts into this. And the things I did like, the acting, I thought the cast did great. Jennifer Lawrence, Hutchinson, which, make sure I actually have his name right, I'm gonna call him John. No, Josh Hutcherson And I feel like they did a good job. Woody Harrelson as well as Haymitch. Yes, Woody Harrelson as Haymitch. Like, I feel like the cast in this movie did a really good job. It made you believe the world you was in. You believe the world you was watching, how everybody acting, how everybody was over the top. For example, Elizabeth Banks, who played Effie, Trinket, who was like the person assigned to District 12 to kind of watch over them and kind of be like their tour guide and let them know how everything works regarding the Hunger Games. She is the one who's like really overdone, like eccentric, odd looking, but her fashion is what it is in the world of District 1. And you get to see the dynamic between, you know, Effie's character and Jennifer Lawrence's character, who is Katniss Everdeen. You get to see how those two worlds collide in this movie. It's kind of cool. Like, I like the story of it. I like the setup. I like the characters. I like the world they get put into. Even the battle, when you get into the battlefield and you see people trying to survive and team up with each other, and the evil people join together to take out people and left and right, and Katniss meets a girl and this little girl teams up with Katniss. Like, all those little storylines and bits done really, really well. Now, this is based off a book called The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, which the wonder why the movie was able to adapt it and make it flow really well, because they already have the groundwork laid out for them. And kind of like Game of Thrones, where season 1, 2, 3, and 4 are kind of already laid out for the writers of the show. The same thing is done here for the Hunger Games. It's good stuff, good work. Lighting, setup, area design, character design, all go down. I think it works really, really well. And the storyline of getting you a character who, for example, in Katniss Everdeen, who doesn't really want to be there. She can care less for everything. She's only doing this to make sure her sister doesn't get put into the Hunger Games, and she's risking her life, but at the same time, she's like, I'm not here to make friends. I'm just here to win. And just about her personality and her being kind of defiant to the whole Hunger Games and everything that's about it, kind of get certain characters to look at her as a leader in a sense and put her in the forefront, even though she doesn't know it or not. She knows it or not. The other characters are kind of using her as a way to like stick it to the man. And especially towards the end of this movie here, where the conclusion, you get your first ever 2 Hunger Games winners, because Katniss and Josh's character, Peeta, they decided to say like, all right, they want us to kill each other to win, because there'll be one winner. We're going to kill each other. We're going to both kill ourselves. And we have this berries that if we both eat them, we both die. And that makes the game host and the person, the game runner, be like, all right, we'll have 2 winners this year. We can't let the star-crushed lovers kill each other, because outside the Hunger Games, people are watching this like a sport. People are watching these people risk their life and kill each other, but like in the form of a storyline. So it's like gladiators, and people got attached to Katniss and Peeta's storyline of them being lovers, because Peeta's in love with Katniss. So people want to see them overcome, and they didn't want them to kill each other, because it's better for publicity, it's better for the show, it's better for the Hunger Games if you have the lovers overcome death. They come together. You have that, and they're like, oh my gosh. But by them doing that, it actually has caused a ripple effect to show people that if Katniss can stick it to the games, maybe we can stick it to the districts. And this first movie, I mean, it is really, really good. Really, really done really, really well. Now, this is me nitpicking, because the 2 bad things I would say about this movie are the pacing is a little bit slow at certain times. When it starts out a little fast, you get a little backstory, you kind of like talking exposition, and then you have the moment with the fire and flames, and like, oh wow, the girl's on fire, and then you get more talking expositions, and then the training montage, and then talking expositions, then the battle. They get put into the battle and everything's going on, and then the action kind of settles down as people try to figure out what to do, and then it picks back up, then it settles down again, then it picks back up, it settles down again. So ups and downs here when it comes to pacing of the movies. Not like you just in your face 24/7, so you do get to see what's going on. But it's also because it's based off a book. There are moments where, for example, Katniss is injured and Haymitch starts talking to like sponsors and people who just send Katniss stuff to help her out in battle. But in the movie, you only see Haymitch looking at Katniss, and then he like shakes his hair, nods his head, and walks off. Then he shows him talking to people, but you don't see what's going on. And all of a sudden, you see a canister of like healing medicine come to Katniss, and Katniss uses it and get her leg better. But because it's based off of a book, there's parts in the movie that in the book there's dialogue going on, or there's thought process going on, or thinking bubbles, but in the movie you can't really portray that. So for example, there's a lot of times where you see Katniss just looking, and she's looking at things, seeing things play out, but in the book, it's like her thinking like, oh man, like that person's getting murdered over there, that person's getting beat up over there, maybe it's my chance to get the bag and try to run off and do this, or I see one over the corner over here. The movie has to show it to you without the thought bubbles, and I think they do a good job doing that. You can recognize what's going on, but if your first watch, you probably like, I don't catch the little things, but then as your third or fifth watch, you see it all. So to me, I get it, I see it. And then as far as the action goes, the Shaky Cam. I'm not really a fan of a Shaky Cam. I know why it does it. It's a PG-13 movie, so you don't want to show a kid getting their head chopped off. That's not, a lot of people going, what the heck is that? That's not rated R. My kids can't watch this movie. So they do Shaky Cam where you like see the kid running away, or like, oh my gosh, and you see his head you don't see his head, but you toss it to something, and then maybe somebody has like an axe and they just, swing into the camera, and then the kid falls on the ground and you see like their hand or something. Like those kind of things, but the camera's all shaky and everything. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't really follow what's going on. But you can though. But the Shaky Cam's a little over the top at times, and then the pacing's little things I feel like, for me, yeah. But also, I've seen this movie 5 or 6 times, 10, maybe 11, and I own the movie. I've been watching it for years. So on your 4th or 5th watch, it does move a little slower than the first time you watch it. So yeah, there's that. Let's go ahead and get into the budget and cast and directors. So this movie's budget was $78 million, and that was estimated, and it grossed worldwide 694 million plus. This movie got its money back. It really did blow up. Like, I don't know. I remember reading the book, or reading part of the book one, and I wasn't expecting this movie to really blow up like it did, but it was done really well. Done really, really well. So the director is Gary Ross. Writers Gary Ross, who did screenplay. Suzanne Collins, screenplay, and also wrote the book. And then Billy Ray, who did the screenplay. The cast, we have Jennifer Lawrence, which is like the first time I've seen her in a movie, who played Katniss Everdeen, and she brings Katniss Everdeen to life. Like, Jennifer Lawrence does a great job being the character who's like kind of stubborn and in your face and standoffish and don't really want to be around anybody. She really brings it. Jennifer Lawrence gives a look at Katniss Everdeen, like, why am I here? Why are you talking to me? What's going on? Also kind of hot-headed, red-headed kind of person, hot-headed kind of person who not afraid to get in your face and tell you what's what. Like, Jennifer Lawrence embodies Katniss and brings her to life so much. Then you have Josh Hutcherson, who plays Peter Meadowlark, who Peter's more of a mild manner, kind of laid back, who he can be in your face, but he's not really going to be. He's going to be the one who kind of be quiet in the background, but then he's also intelligent. He knows what's going on. He knows how to do certain stuff. And for example, he like told everybody he's in love with Katniss, and therefore it got him more sponsors, and also got Katniss more sponsors. Like, oh man, she's more valuable. Like, this dude's in love with her, and they gotta go fight each other. Like, that's, oh my gosh, my heart. Like, Peter knows how to play the game too, and he's smart as well. And I think Josh does a good job bringing that character to life as well. Stanley Tucci as Caesar Flickerman. Stanley Tucci is Caesar Flickerman. Sorry, man. Great. Like, he's in the movie, he definitely has he's not a cameo, he's a very recurring character, but when he's on the screen, he just brings life to the movie. I think he does a great job. Elizabeth Banks as Effie Trinket. I think Elizabeth Banks does a good job. She's solid as well. Woody Harrelson as Haymitch. Woody Harrelson brings Haymitch to life just like Jennifer Lawrence brings Katniss Everdeen to life. A drunk, somebody who's like, Carrie don't care, y'all gonna lose anyway. But then he starts seeing them like putting effort into things. He actually starts getting more attached to them and start opening up to them and kind of become more of a mentor to these characters, not just somebody who's like, screw them. Like, I think Woody Harrelson bring that character to life as well. And you also have Amanda Steinberg, who played Rue. She did a good job bringing this kid to life, somebody who was kind of enduring, somebody who was like, oh man, that adorable kid, and she looks up to Katniss, and Katniss sees her little sister in her, and she's like somebody who really brings the joy and the innocence of the Hunger Games to life. That's like, man, you see somebody's life get taken away from them, who's just a kid who just want to survive. You get to see that with Rue, and Rue's such a cool character for somebody who kind of give Katniss a reason to fight more than just herself. To me, watching this movie, I think Rue is solid, a solid character that Amanda Steinberg brought to life. And then Lenny Kravitz, who plays Senna, thought Lenny did a good job being that character who kind of roots for Katniss and kind of give her tips and pointers, almost like a role model for her as well. I think these characters in this movie are all great, really, really great. And then one last person I want to talk about is Wes Bentley, who plays Seneca Crane. He was like the game runner, the showrunner in this all. He was like overseeing everything and kind of like the middleman to the big boss, which I'm talking about in another movie. But I thought he was a good dude to show that, like, okay, people do have hearts who are watching this. People do understand what it is that's going on, and he has, like, he finds himself enveloped in the storyline of Katniss Everdeen and also Peeta, and he wanted to, like, he was the main reason why they survived in the end. Like, he is a cool character, somebody who kind of overseeing everything, but he adds such a dynamic to this movie. Plus, the dude has a really cool design beard. Like, it's like comic book character, kind of like anime character style beard. But yeah, I thought he did a good job as well. I think this whole movie is done really, really well. Everybody does a good job in this movie. And then Donald Sutherland, I'm going to talk about him anyway. He plays President Snow, and for the most part, he's like the guy overseeing everything. He oversees Seneca and the Hunger Games. He's like the head of it all, and he's the one who kind of in charge of keeping the Hunger Games going every year. And I really, like, I'll talk more about President Snow in later movies, but yeah, you knew he was up to something, and I think Donald Sutherland does a good job bringing that character for this movie. Any other thoughts? The music is fine. The music is fine. I don't remember the soundtrack much from the Hunger Games. I do remember the whistle, which is one of the, and then the three fingers, and also I volunteered. This movie does have a lot of one-liners, like a volunteer tribute. Like, he had the meme for that for years to come thanks to this movie, and so you have some one-liners in this movie that you'll remember and moments you remember. Like, this movie has a lot of big moments, but I really don't remember, like, music or anything else. CGI, there is CGI in this movie, but, you know, it still holds up to this day. It doesn't look off. It doesn't look out of place. Like, you can watch it and be perfectly fine with the CGI in this movie. You'll be okay. You'll be okay with the CGI. You're like, okay, yeah, it's good. It's good. Especially for 2012, it was good. So, it was good there. Any other thoughts? Nah, don't have any other thoughts. That's about it. Alright. Is this a Friday night movie? Yes, Hunger Games is a Friday night movie. Watch with your friends and family in grading time. I'm going to grade the Hunger Games from 2012 a solid B. It's a B for me. It's 85%. Now, Rotten Tomatoes actually gives it an 84%. And IMDb gives it a 7.2 out of 10%, or 7.2 out of 10. So IMDb gives it a C minus. Rotten Tomatoes actually gave it the B range. I give it 85% a B. And Metacritic, I'm not sure what their rank is, but they give it a 68% on Metacritic. But that's a D plus in my book, which I don't think this movie is a D plus. So I'm not sure what Metacritic's scale is, but as far as the two main ones, IMDb gives a 7.2 out of 10, which is C minus, and Rotten Tomatoes give it an 84%, which is a B. So I'm the same way. I had my score ready before I seen their score. 85% a B. I think it's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. If you're going to really find bad stuff about this movie, you're going to have to nitpick it. If you're first watching this movie, I think you're going to enjoy this movie. I really enjoyed it. I just seen it 10 times, and I'm just at this point, I'm just like, yeah, it doesn't hold up at the third or fourth watch. Like, you're going to watch this movie over and over again, you're like, I know what's going to happen. I'm not really intrigued in this scene. I know how it's going to play out. Like, unlike, for example, Guardians of the Galaxy, I watch the movie over and over again, or Avengers Infinity War, or the first Avengers. Those movies I watch over and over again, no matter how many times, I would never get bored of it. The Incredibles, how many times I would never get bored of it. Hunger Games, I found myself getting bored in. Not gonna lie. To me, the rewatch value of Hunger Games dropped. So, it is a B, and 85% for me. If you guys seen the Hunger Games, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. Other than that, see you guys next episode of Movie Breakdowns, and keep being awesome. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If there's a review you want me to watch or do, let me know. Please put it in the comment section below this video. Also, you want to watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns, it's right there. Just gotta click on it and you'll be able to watch it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Love y'all, and keep being awesome.